Babs, it's me, Mand, the ADHD mad auntie, and here is my They Them t-shirt, which I love. It's so comfortable. I bought it from the same company as, I'm going to show you something later, which is so cruel and so horrible and just so damaging, and my ribs will never ever recover. What am I talking about? I'll tell you what I'm talking about. The worst, most stupid things that TERFs have probably come up with. Now, I just want to note to Xandersol, I am actually white. I'm British. I'm kind of middle classish, and for all intents and purposes, I'm a woman, but I've never really identified as that. As soon as I found out there was a term for it, I'm thinking, oh, thank goodness. Anyway, so there's that. So yeah, I just want to say that yes, I am British, and I am not a TERF. It's not endemic, you know, it's not part of our national makeup. And I just want to point out something that makes you think that probably we are endemically TERFy, but we're not, because, you know, even though nobody's talked about this, and I'm absolutely shocked as to why, but it doesn't mean to say that we're all TERFs. But this is something that I found out on the BBC website. Now, BBC website, it's got its problems, evidently, but it did let me know about this, and this is actually from the Daily Telegraph, and the Daily Telegraph is one of the most conservative newspapers, if it's not the most conservative newspaper in the UK. This is one of the reasons I don't buy newspapers, but I'm going to read off their online thing, which was firewalled, so I had to cut it up into bits, you know, to get past I had to do a screenshot of all the bits that weren't covered up, so I had to, you know, so this might be a little bit bitty, but anyway, and so this is from the Telegraph, and it said, exclusive, trans charity mermaids to be investigated by the Charity Commission. What did they do? What was so awful? What did they do this time? Oh no. Whoops. Mermaids is being investigated by the Charity Commission after the Telegraph revealed red flags in its dealings with children. What could possibly be so awful, I ask you? What could you say? What could possibly be so awful? The regulator said it had opened a regulatory compliance case after concerns were raised about the charity's approach to safeguarding young people. That sounds horrendous. Horrendous. So what did they do? What did they do? The charity has been sending potentially dangerous breast binding devices to children behind their parents' backs and discussing with them how puberty blocking drugs are totally reversible. Now, I'm going to show you a binder in a minute, and I'm going to just, you know, you can make up your own mind just about how dangerous it is. Mermaids, which receives funding from the taxpayer, of course, they're going to have to worry about the taxpayer because that's what the right-wing media do, and runs training sessions for schools, the NHS and the police forces. Well, a bit later on, it's obvious that the police forces haven't actually had any training, because otherwise they'd know about stuff, have been contacted by the regulator. A spokesman for the Commission said, concerns have been raised with us about Mermaid's approach to safeguarding young people. We have opened a regulatory compliance case and have written to the trustees. We now await their reply. The news was welcomed by campaigners including Transgender Trend, which argues for evidence-based healthcare for children, which said, at last parents concerned about Mermaid's promotion of binders and blockers are being heard. So, I'm sorry, I might be reading this out of order. It came after evidence obtained by the Telegraph showed Mermaid staff agreeing to send a breast binder discreetly to a girl they believed was only 14, after being told repeatedly that her mother would not allow her to use one. The free binder scheme, which has been running since at least 2019, has seen staff offering the chest-flattening devices to children as young as 13. Shocking. You know, you see parents taking their kids to go and buy bras in public and that, and yet that's not seen as anything disgusting. I wonder why. Heteronormative, maybe? I don't know. And then it says, a form of self-harm. Chest binding has been described as a form of self-harm because it can cause problems, including breathing difficulties, chronic back pain, changes to the spine, and broken ribs. Broken ribs. I'm going to show you something in a minute, and you can ask me whether it's caused broken ribs. Oh, good God. I've got them out of order. In a statement setting out its position on binders after being approached by the Telegraph, Mermaids said it took a harm reduction position, that providing a binder with safety instructions was better than people using other unsafe practices or experiencing dysphoria. Now, the things that will cause chest problems and breathing difficulties and broken ribs are the things that are not allowed. It's a bit like saying, if we ban abortion, then no one will get abortions. It doesn't work like that. If you ban binders, people are going to try and do it themselves with like elastic bandages and things like that, and that's horrendous. So all that the mermaids are doing is providing safe things. It's not nearly as bad as people make out. So, you know. And then of course they have to throw in puberty blockers into this because why not? Despite growing evidence against the dangers of puberty blockers, mermaids maintain that they are internationally recognised safe reversible healthcare options which have been recommended by medical authorities in the UK and internationally for decades. So, you know, they're chucking out that in there. A mermaid spokesman said the organisation had received the letter from the Charity Commission and will be responding directly in due course. Joanna Cherry, KC, and SNM MP. Now, these I'll talk about Joanna Cherry in a minute, but she's kind of like, I mean, Scotland are just terrible about this. Like, that's wrong to say that because I've already said, look, not all English people are TERFs, so not all Scottish people are TERFs, but she's horrible. I shall mention her in a minute. Joanna Cherry said, I am very pleased the investigation I called for is happening. So it's basically her doing this. And she has her agendas. Recent revelations about advice allegedly given by mermaids raise major safeguarding issues, especially in the light of the findings of the Cass interim report, and the allegations of homophobia are very concerning. So I've kind of messed this up a bit, but I'm going to mention who Joanna Cherry is right now, and then I'll get back to the bit about binders. Okay, so Joanna Cherry claims that she was sacked from the SNP, which is the Scottish Nationalist Party, which is a parliamentary party in Scotland, and it said that she was sacked from her front bench role by the SNP because of, quote, a very aggressive gender identity ideology. So you can see why she has a beef against mermaids from this. The MP was removed from her post as the party spokesperson for Justice and Home Affairs in January last year. So where are we doing that? So I read this on 9th of October, so that was January last year, which is 2021, I guess. She has been a fierce critic of the new Scottish Government's legislation, which will make it easier to obtain a gender recognition certificate by scrapping the medical processes and allowing a process of self-declaration. Now, I mean, I have my issues with that, but the fact that she's weighing in about binders without probably even knowing what they are, but oh no, it's a trans thing, so it must be evil. People really do need to get educated anyway. Opponents of this law, the Scottish legislation, gender recognition certificate, etc., opponents of law have long argued that it can impact on women's rights, blah blah blah, make it easier for sexual predators to abuse for others, blah blah blah, probably pretending to be transgender and all of that crap. So I'm just going to get onto here because, like I said, I've got. Oh, I can't find it now. Oh yeah. This is another thing about kind of trying to relate binders to this. It was also revealed that Mermaid's online help centre has been offering advice to users say that they are as young as 13, that controversial hormone-blocking drugs are safe and totally reversible. In inverted commas, they are. The puberty blockers are reversible. You know, it's like going on the pill. You can stop it, and you know, that's what it is. In the last month, there were discussions in the charity's moderated forum for 12 to 15-year-olds on how to raise money to start taking drugs and the best way to take testosterone. Citation needed? Screenshots? Anything? No? Nothing? Okay. A moderator also publicly congratulated teenage user for deciding they were transgender by the age of 13 and deciding they wanted drugs and all the surgeries. Again, where's the quotation? I don't know. Okay. Mothers have said they are horrified by what young adolescents are exposed to behind their parents' backs. In a previous complaint to the Commission, one parent said she was hugely concerned that conversations with homophobic content made her son believe that being gay was unacceptable and rushed him into believing he needed to be medically transitioned. Again, citation needed. The Charity Commission said it was assessing the allegations on Monday and has now confirmed it has opened a case. This is not a finding of wrongdoing, but it's the first step the Commission can take in examining potential wrongdoing. Well, you know, examining is fine. I can't find this here. Sorry, I didn't edit this very well. But there was also a thing on the website, and I've missed that out, and I don't know why. And on the Telegraph website that said that Metropolitan Police were regarding binders as dangerous as chest ironing. Chest ironing is a thing that happens in mostly West African countries, where it's kind of like desexualizing girls. Part of purity culture is to stop men getting, overtly stimulated by watching girlies with their boobies. This is nothing to do with that at all. This is not desexualizing women. In fact, I would say that the TERFs want to sexualize girls if they don't want them to walk around with flat chests, which is, if they feel comfortable with flat chests. I was at school and I used to like wearing blazers and shirts, and I couldn't do them up. When I started reaching puberty, I couldn't do them up, and I still have that now. I don't like not being able to do up shirts and blazers. So I got this. And you tell me, does this look anything like dangerous to you? This is a binder. This is what mermaids are sending out. Not that I got this from Mermaids, I bought this myself, but they are quite expensive, so I can understand why teenagers can't afford. I've worn this before, right? It's no different than, a control garment. In fact, it's so comfortable, really it is. I'm not going to say where I got this from, because I don't want to seem like I'm an advert, but look, it's just got a little bit of fabric in it. Right, that's all it is. It's no different to, say, a middle-aged woman wearing some controlled garments to tuck her tummy in. It's not going to break your ribs. Look at it. This is a binder. I wear this, right? I've been wearing it over the summer because it's a little bit sweaty, but that's the only reason I don't wear it, right? And I'm a fully developed middle-aged AFAB with tits, right? Look. And it's not done me any harm. If it's not going to do me any harm, I can't see how it would do a teenager any harm. So I don't. How are none of these YouTubers not talking about this? Anyway, that's the TERFy nonsense of the week thing. Like I say, don't go and look at the Telegraph website, because it's a paywall, and you don't want to be chucking money at a right-wing website. If you want to find out a bit more about it, post some comments below, and I'll send you some more screenshots and things. But like I said, with my ADHD, I kind of screenshotted them all in the wrong order, and but basically that's what it says. And I can always show you, like I said, the original thing, so that I'm not bullshitting you. So yeah, there we go. And that's, I mean, it would be funny if it wasn't so depressing, you know. That's just the way it is. So I don't like make half-hour long videos or anything like that, because I just get very tired very easily, and I don't have a very good you know, some people say hard work is its own reward. For me, likes and clicks are their own reward. So if I get those, I'll probably make longer and more interesting videos. But I just thought I'd kind of bring that up, because it doesn't seem like anybody else has, and it's just fucking mental, you know? It's ridiculous. Right, I'm going to go and have a glass of wine now, because it's exhausting talking about that. It's so depressing and disgusting, and oh, jeez. If anyone wants to know more about binders, leave a message below. It doesn't matter what age you are. I'll send you some websites and things like that. And I'm so happy that younger people are getting help, because I was younger, and I mean, I wasn't like that. You know, I didn't have deeply conservative parents, and that it just wasn't talked about back then in the 80s. You know, even being gay wasn't talked about in the 80s. So I'm really glad things are being talked about now. And if you are part of the LGBTQ plus community, hi. It's nice to see you. And leave a comment down below, and keep following me on this for more content. And I used to be on Twitter, but it's such a cesspit now. I can't even be bothered anymore. So yeah, please do get in touch. I don't have Patreon or anything like that at the moment. If you're interested, I can set that up. I used to have an Etsy shop called Mand Makes Hats, where I had lots of LGBTQ knitwear, but again, that's kind of fallen by the wayside, because I was spending more on fees than anything else. So anyone can give me some tips on how to set up a Shopify. Other than that, drop me a message down below. If you would like a knitted beanie, they're quite reasonably priced. It would help me a lot. I meant that I wouldn't have to worry about you know, keeping things going around here, feeding the cats and whatnot. I can afford, like, well, I mean, I'm not poorly off. I'm not going to say that I have to pay my rent or anything, but you know, it would be quite nice to have a bit of independent income. Like, you know, I'm out of work at the moment. I have sort of little bits and pieces of work, but because of my ADHD and all my other complications, and I'm not talking about gender here, that's neither here nor there, but I do have like anxiety and depression and various other issues. So it's not easy for me to do work, so I do a lot of crafting. So if you want to support me in that, please do drop a message down below, and I'll tell you how to get in touch with me. Thank you very much for watching. Again, please, this is a binder. It's not going to break your ribs. That's it, really. Stay cool. Love you all, little beans. Bye.